Larry Hillblom was probably the least likely person you could imagine to revolutionize global business. He grew up in a small peach farming town in the Central Valley of California. He went to Berkeley Law School, where he was a fish out of water. He was kind of a goofy guy. He got by on caffeine and methamphetamines, but he was conservative and didn't believe in the anti-war movement and everything that was going on at the time. In the late 60s, Larry just wanted to make a lot of money. DHL was founded the summer of 1969 when Larry, who was working as a courier for this small outfit in Los Angeles, ran into the company's salesman, and they realized that the market for express shipping was a lot bigger than people imagined. At the time, FedEx had not started yet. The Postal Service claimed a monopoly on anything that was considered a letter, which was basically all correspondence, and Larry ignored it. Eventually, he was attacked by competitors. He was attacked by the post office, not only in the United States, but around the world. He was attacked by the Nixon administration, and every time he managed to win. But managing a company and those kinds of fights really weren't what he was interested in. Larry wanted to have fun. He wanted to live adventures. So very shortly after DHL's founding, he moved to Guam. He bought a little island called Cocos in the middle of the Western Pacific, which was popular with honeymooners. And then he moved to Saipan, which is a tax haven in the Western Pacific that's even more remote than Guam. And he set up a little empire and became King Larry. He owned the bank, he owned the pawn shop, he owned restaurants, he owned hotels, he owned the airline eventually. He owned pretty much everything and was the most important man in Micronesia. Like most great entrepreneurs, Larry was very stubborn. He was in 3 plane crashes. The second nearly killed him. The third, he was lost at sea and presumed dead, although his body was never found. But the biggest consequence of his disappearance or his death in this plane crash was that several women came forward almost immediately and said that they had given birth to his child. If any of these children could prove that they were indeed Larry Hillblom's kids, they inherited his entire estate, which was valued at close to $1 billion. I first read about Larry in 1998 in the Wall Street Journal, which was during the probate case. And most of that article and subsequent articles focused on the girls and Larry's sex life. And while he was very prolific, Larry's legacy is that he saw the world for how small it was decades before anyone else. And he managed to set the pace at which business is conducted around the globe to this day.